the best, but not all of the best. There we go. So this paper is a recycled treasure paper that I got from Miss Kimberly at Yesterday's Tomorrow. So this whole sheet was one piece. Hi, Miss Tracy. This was all one piece, and I've already kind of used some of it for other things, so I'm just kind of picking the pieces that I want. Our style is more kind of a, we call it grandpa chic, so it's mushrooms, owls, more of that retro kind of look. So the mushrooms are made me buy this paper. Hi, Miss Tina. These mushrooms, I love them. And then the other paper, I don't know if this one, let's see what this one is called. It doesn't say, or I cut that part off. But you'll see it. Miss Kimberly's does a great job on her website. This one I thought was really cute. Some of these old vintagey looking tags. I was thinking maybe this on the teapot, but I'm not sure yet. I haven't gotten past painting it. So, well, welcome. We'll figure out what we're gonna do on that. And then of course we're gonna add some dark glaze just to give these a nice antique look. So what I did off camera, this side I did one coat of oyster with rethunk junk. Well, welcome, Miss Lisa. This is resin paint. This is what I use on my furniture. This is very strong and durable for metal, which is why I use it for pretty much everything. This side, I did 2 coats and some touch-up. So I finished that last night, and you can see the scratch test. I love it. It's not scraping off. I got something in my paint. So now we need, so the paint kind of makes this trim kind of boring. So we're gonna definitely dress that up. We are not getting rain. All weekend we had this huge storm come through California, and we are next to a nice ridge of mountains in Pleasanton. We haven't gotten it like everyone else has. Yesterday was windy. Oh, super windy. So let me, oh, hold on, sorry. I need to take my sweater off, but my microphone is attached to it. Okay. So we're supposed to be getting rain today, but it's just cloudy. And then tomorrow I go up to Roseville. I have a couple doctor's appointments. So while we're there, I am going to go to my booth, move things around. So I am gonna just go ahead and do a second coat on this. I'm not really worried about in here because this piece is gonna go in there. But I want this to be dry so that we can add our glaze and our rub and buff to it. I am working on a custom piece for a customer, and she's doing this really pretty blue and white, almost like clouds with some gold. So I'm kind of checking out some of the golds on this piece to see what color gold I want to put on that piece. So this piece has a dual purpose. And then after this dries, my husband's going to put epoxy in this for me. So that's going to make it super durable. Okay. So I am using Rethunk Gunk, which is like Mod Podge, but it doesn't yellow over time. With Mod Podge, I've only had a couple pieces do that on furniture, so I have just stopped. On things that may be around for a long time, I've stopped using Mod Podge to Decoupage. This is a little thicker. So I'm just using a chip brush just to get it where I want it. Right up to the edge of that paint. And I painted only one coat because if I didn't, this paper was really kind of blah. Painting underneath it helps give it a little bit more oomph to show off. So I cut it out yesterday. So what I did was I just put it in, creased my finger all the way around, and then I used that as a template and cut it. So I'm gonna mist it with some water. Just mist, not spray. And then we're gonna kind of line it up. By spraying it, it helps it be a little more pliable while I am laying it into place. Oops, come on. I've got a little air bubble there, so we're gonna lift it up. Oh, let me get my little handy dandy. Oh, I ripped it. It's okay. I can't be gentle for anything, so I might as well just use my fingers. I am like a bull in a china cabinet. Okay, let's see if I can do this a little more gentle. Okay. Well, hi, Miss Sandy from Louisiana. So I did not put enough top coat on up the sides, so I'm just gonna kind of go under this paper. And then we're gonna go over the top of it. So this is gonna give it a nice, strong seal. But because I'm adding epoxy to it, that's gonna be the strongest seal ever. So we're gonna let this dry just a little bit because I'm gonna go back and paint some of these edges so it doesn't look so decoupage papery. We're gonna set that there and we'll let that dry. This was just a real plain cutting board. Had no color to it. So I used a baby wipe and some brown paint. You can see this is very well loved. I love how worn that looks. So I'm actually gonna make this the back side. And on the front side, we're gonna add this cute little paper. And I did go ahead and just kind of cut out the whole thing because I thought about maybe wrapping his tail on the side and on the back. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do that. So we're just going to put the gunk on and then we'll see how it goes. I try to get up to my booth about once a month or once a week just to straighten things out and move things around. And I'm misting my paper. That makes it a little more pliable if I need to lift it back up. So I didn't get it all the way to the bottom. I'm lining up the bottom of it. Come on now. See, if I didn't miss this, I wouldn't have been able to lift it like that. There we go. And I'm making sure my mushroom is lined up there. And my little squeegee. Just have to be gentle with it. Except, I don't know if I can get a lift out of it, dang it. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. So apparently I need to line up the sides and the bottom. That looks good there. Now we've got it. So if this was a napkin, I would have never been able to do that. Well, welcome, Miss Carol Ann. Napkins, I don't do that mist method because that'll just tear right through the napkin. But this is decoupage paper. It's a little thicker and it's a little easier to manipulate. Let's get some more on there. Okay. Now we'll go over the whole top. And I'll leave it like this until I know for sure what I'm gonna do with that side. Because if I do want to wrap it, I have to wait for this front side to dry anyway. And that's when I'll do my sanding around the rest of it. So we'll set that to the side and let it dry. Now I've got these. Hi, Miss Roxanne. I've got these cute little frames I found at the thrift store. And I ordered this poster. I don't remember where I got it, honestly. But I've been picking it apart with all these cute little mushrooms and using them in frames. I don't remember where I got that. So Amazon probably has them. So I've just kind of cut out what I want. And then I've got this piece of cardstock. Well, hi, Miss Vicky. You're from Tampa? I'm in Pleasanton, California. This has a little sticky piece that I want to clean off. So this is kind of like a shadow box. I loved this frame. I paid like $1 for it. We're gonna... Oh, the whole thing comes out. Look at that. So we could put something in the front if we wanted to. I don't think I want to, but we'll see. Oh, wait a second. I have a great idea. Now that I know, let's see. I have some little wooden mushrooms. Let's see what this... We painted these. I think they're too big. Oh, I don't know. Let's see how much room we have if we were to slide that. Nope, it's a little... If I could slice these in half, that would be so cute just to put there. I don't know if my husband has anything that he could cut that. Hey, Miss Tanya, welcome. So, we're going to take both of these apart. So for this one, I'm going to use the glass as a template. For this one, I'm going to use this little oval for the template. Let's move this stuff out of the way. And I need a pen. So we're gonna just mark here. Okay. And then this one. Yeah, that's close. That's close. So let's cut these out. And then we'll figure out, where are my paper scissors? Oh, duh. Right in front of me. There's one. Thank you, Miss Carol Ann. I appreciate that. So this weekend, I haven't checked the weather yet, so that's why I haven't bought my tickets yet. Treasure Island in San Francisco is having their flea market. We've only gone a handful of times. It is just unreal. So if weather cooperates, I'll go live from the Treasure Fest. It's a good time. So we have that fits there and that fits there. So now we know the surface. Hi, Miss Carol. We know the surface that we're working with. So I kind of pre-cut some things I thought I would want. And I'm wondering, oh, that's pretty cute. So let's kind of round these corners. I'm going to kind of cut it as close as I can to the mushroom. And I won't do anything permanent. That way if somebody wants to, oh, Anchorage, Alaska, welcome. If somebody actually wants to use it as a picture frame, this will not be glued in. They can just simply take it out. So we want it right about there. So I'm gonna put some gunk on it. Get it all the way. Now we'll just lightly go over the top. Give that a minute to dry. And then this one, let's see. I don't like how I've cut it, so let's round off some of these corners. That there. I am using Rethunk Gunk. I am a furniture painter, and this is what we use on furniture because it doesn't yellow over time. Mod Podge would work exactly the same way. Okay. Now before I Mod Podge this down, I want to do some stamping on the back of the scrapbook sheet just to give it a little interest. Okay. Let me get some of this garbage out of the way. Hi, Miss Cindy. Welcome. So these are some Tim Holtz stamps. And then I've got some colored stamp pads. I wasn't sure about doing color. I think I want to do more browns and blacks. This green, though. This is Rustic Wilderness. I think I need that. Let's see, what is this? That's a flower. I really just want the words. So we're gonna put some ink on this. And then we're gonna kind of just stamp it. Do another one. Well, actually, maybe I'll flip it and do it right there. And then let's do some black. Vintage photo. Oh, the white. No, let's do black. Black soot, I believe it is. Hi, Miss Fonda. Welcome. And actually, I think I want part of the butterfly. So we're going to go ahead and ink that up too. So we're just going to go. And with these, I've learned you can't let them slide. You have to hold them into place, or you get a smudge. Oh, that's cute. So that's our background. Now I have to wait for that to dry before I get Mod Podge on it, or it's just gonna smear. But if I lay this in place, let's see. I think I need some more over here. Go on those edges. Or, wait a minute, I have a better idea. We're just gonna do some colors on the edges. Actually, the sprays. Have you tried the sprays? Is this the green? This is the green. Let's put some of those sprays on there. What color do I want? Here is peeled paint, I think would be good. Those are a little too colorful. Ooh, and some copper. No. Tarnished brass. We're gonna use those too. Okay. So they just gotta shake. There's a little ball inside it and you'll hear it. I need to, maybe this one doesn't have a ball. I don't want anything over here, so I'm gonna kind of, oh, that's so cute. And then our tarnished brass. Now, we have to let that dry, and then we'll put our mushrooms on it. Then that goes in the picture frame. It's just a cute way to dress up a picture frame that I have found. Where's my lid? I've lost my lid. Okay. So let me put those away. In fact, I think this other one, I've already got it all Mod Podged. I'll just add a little to that and let it dry. Okay, now the teapot. Teapot, I need to figure out what we're gonna put on it. Oh, there's my lid. So this one I've already painted 2 coats also, all the way around. So, I'm gonna figure out, oops, before I lay my papers down, I was really liking this flower, but I think that's too much. Let's see if there was anything on here. That one, maybe. Oh, these beads. This right here. That's pretty too. Okay, or maybe one of these tags. Let's see. That's pretty. I think we're gonna go with the bumblebees or the butterflies and this. I think that's what we're gonna do. So let me cut out the shape I kind of want. Of course, I don't want any of these sharp edges. I did not, Christina, I did not. I am using Rethunk Junk. It's a resin paint. So I did 2 coats last night. This one does not necessarily need a top coat, which is why I paint everything with it. But For me to do multiple projects is pretty easy because I will, like if you noticed, I paint this and that the same color. I just kind of will lay everything out, figure out what I want to do, and then they kind of go in piles according to the first step. Like I have a couple projects that need a dark glaze, which I also have to do these, and then these will go to that pile, and so on and so on. Okay, so if we were to do this, I kind of like his little tail right behind the spout. First lay it out and make sure it's gonna work. Okay, so for this, also one at a time, because this is gonna go pretty much halfway across. I need that to dry before I can flip it over and then do these things, moths, butterflies. And you can see there's some spots that I've kind of missed, but when I am completely done, I'm gonna go over this whole thing with a dark glaze. Chalk paint will definitely, you have to wax up before you could do anything, especially on metal. So we're gonna do this side first since it's the bigger. And I'm pretty much just gonna do gunk over the whole side. It doesn't leave a different finish on the paint like Mod Podge does. That's also why I just kind of splat it on in a little bit of water. So I'm going to place the bigger side first because I kind of know where I want that. So this is a rounded surface. I am totally okay with some of these wrinkles because when I'm done, it's going to make it look really old. Oops, I just tore it. I'm telling you, I don't think I went far enough. So I'll just kind of use my fingers to lay it out. Didn't put enough gunk on. My piece of paper is too... Well, thank you, Miss Karen. I appreciate that. So now, just really light, I'm gonna put this coat over it. So, do you see that kind of line right there? When it's dry, we're gonna do exactly what we're gonna do on this. So this piece is gonna go on the back side of that. I have to wait for it to dry. So this still isn't completely dry, but it's dry enough. I am gonna take the same paintbrush and just a dab of paint, the same color as the base. And we're gonna kind of just pounce right around those edges of this paper. That's gonna kind of like erase that line. Because right now it's still wet. If I was to just kind of paint, I'm gonna rip the paper. So you can wait until it's completely dry and then do this. You know, we're live. Who's got time for that? And I'm just dipping into the lid of my paint. I'm not even using a lot. I just see some little spots that I need to kind of touch up. So I will do the same thing on that pot around the edges, just to kind of hide it. go around here. Let's see if there's any other little spots I want to touch up. Okay. Now, are we on time? We're good on time. We want to antique brown glaze. Let's see what we can do with it still being wet. So ideally I would wait for this whole thing to dry. Well, thank you. But no one's got time for that. So I'm just gonna go in with the lid on my chip brush. And I think I want to go pretty heavy on this. So I'm going to get some on and then wipe it back gently. So I will do this same method also inside here over the paper before I put the epoxy on. I just have to wait for it to dry. Let me get over all this and then we'll add the gold. I want to get that on this at least. Ooh, that was a lot. But the nice thing about the glaze, put it on and wipe it back. No, I'm actually using, they call it Rethunk Gunk. It is a medium to attach paper. I think, what do they call it? It's a decoupage medium to add paper or fabric pizzazz to your projects. It will turn hard once you put the top. It's a little harder than Mod Podge when it's dry. So when I do decoupage on my dresser drawers or on the sides, I use the gunk instead of Mod Podge. So let's see, just with what's left on my brush, I'm gonna add a little more to that. Now the fun part. I'm gonna use some Rub and Buff. Absolutely, Miss Cheryl. Rub and Buff comes in a ton of colors. Do I want this? We do want the gold leaf. So I'm using this color on a mirror for a customer. So I wanted to kind of, you know, see what it looks like. Because it's been a while since I've done a project with it. So we're gonna just squeeze some out. And this does not take that much. I have a problem of going over the top. I like to use my fingers. This is gonna just bring out those details a little bit more, but be subtle, just super subtle. So I will also put some on the edges of the plate. That I think is a little too much. The gunk, I have it on my website. It's in my antique booth, bluejayvintage.com or rethunkjunk.com. I have some here. I would ship it out. So just putting a little bit on the edges just gives it a little more detail. And mixing colors is fun too. Like I might go a little darker gold or black. You could use a paintbrush. I just feel like I don't have enough control when I use a paintbrush. I have more control when I use my finger. And then again, when it's dry in here, I'll do the glaze, and then I'll just kind of sporadically, I don't want to do it now because the paper's still wet. I will sporadically put it on the inside also. Just looking to see. Need a little more, go a little darker. And then we'll kind of buff it. So we rubbed it, now we're gonna buff it. That's gonna just pull off anything that's not stuck down. Oh, that's so pretty. Now you can really see those details. So this inside was how it started, and now the outside edge is how it's going to all look. Right, it doesn't leave a finish. The finish will be whatever else you're using with it. And that's another reason I stopped using Mod Podge, is because if you go a little too far over, like on a wood sign, if you go your Mod Podge a little too far over, you can see the finish is different. And I didn't like that. So now, because I'm not going to remember this later, this is the color I used. I need to use the same color to finish the inside. This will just sit with my project as it's drying.